Alrighty guys, Isaac here bringing us another Dragon Ball Legends TOP guide video. So once again, I have my path set out right here. Let's go ahead and get right into my team. It's going to be Regeneration once again, because this is pretty much the team that you guys can all rock with and have success with, even if you need some replacements, right? So I pretty much like this setup. It could definitely be better. I think the optimal setup of this team would obviously having more stars, of course, but if you replace this Legends Road Piccolo with the DKP Zenkai, which I do not have, but he's definitely very, very good here. What you do see me doing here as well is I'm using a purple unit this time. Last season, I did not use a purple unit. I'm going to be bringing in the defensive type unit of the Zenkai Janemba. I think he's a phenomenal unit for this, and I think the best piece of advice that I can give you guys in terms of getting a replacement unit is, if it's for a specific color, then just filter it by Z tier first and foremost, and then also filter it by key restore speed, right? That way you can go ahead and see which of your units has extremely high key restore speed. This is going to help a lot in terms of attack order, right? And then if you don't see any units you like here in Z tier, then you just go down the list, go back down into S tier. There's a lot of good S tier units right here. I'm using 2 S tier units, right? I'm using the Fat Boo and I'm using the Omega Shenron. I think Free to Play 21 is pretty good as well. She could also be your red. I personally I like Omega Shenron more, right? I think the argument can be made for either or, and I know some people even like to throw on the baby on here, this unit, right, on the bench. That way they can have some extra healing, but I think this should suffice. Make sure you guys are putting on your equipment before you actually start the Tournament of Power. Now, also would like to apologize for doing this a little bit late. I know I'm like 1 TP over what I usually do at 13. I have just been absolutely consumed by Elden Ring these past couple of days. So that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the actual matches. Alright, so for the first tile that we're going to land on is this 4/5 stage right here. It's going to be an easy one, right? We're starting off with actually a pretty easy one. Like I said, I always will say it, when you see an extreme unit or units, that's pretty much going to be a very good sign for you. There's only one right here, but I will still go ahead and take this. Alright, so I think for this one, I'm going to immediately start it off like this. I want a yellow unit here, I want a blue unit, I want a purple, and I want a red, because that's going to be the opposite of what my opponent's going to have. I think we're going to start off strong right here. We have 2 sustained damage cut tiles in the middle, and we'll save those for both of these yellow Piccolos right here, right? As well, we're getting all the heals from this guy. So another thing that you guys have to keep in mind when you're looking at what unit buffs who, this is a perfect way to do it. You just hover over the character, you can see exactly the highlighted tiles are where I'm going to be getting this healing from the extreme Piccolo. And another thing, something I always forget to do, but I didn't forget this time, is if you are running this Ella Piccolo, it automatically defaults you to strike attacks. I don't know why it does that, but we're going to go ahead and make him do blast attacks. You can go ahead and check for every character here too. My Omega is on strike, that's where I want him at. My Bootanks is on blast, that's where I want him at, and so forth. Alright, so in terms of attack order, I do believe that we can take out a red unit first, since we do have Bootanks on here. I want to take out the Kid Buu. If you guys aren't confident in your Bootanks' damage, then target this guy first. He will easily go down since he's an extreme unit, but I'm going to try to see if I can get Kid Buu out of the way. And then after that, a high priority target has to be this Bojack. He will get his super attack on turn 2, right? He has low key restore speed, so he'll be attacking pretty late on turn 2, but he's still a menace nonetheless, right? And then immediately after that, I think we'll go for Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so we can preserve Bootanks' health a little bit, and then this Nappa, then this Gohan, and then this extreme android right here at the very end. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and include that first fight, that way you guys can actually see the way my team operates, the way that they attack, and which order they attack, and all that good stuff, right? You can see right there, most of my units were attacking before his units even got a chance to go ahead and attack me, right? I think the one thing that does suck there is that you do see a little bit of damage missing out right here. I was not able to finish the entire enemy without using the Rising Rush, right? I had to rely on that Rising Rush at the very end to take out the enemy, but overall, look at, we're still doing extremely fine right here. Everyone's pretty healthy. 1 million points right off rip. We'll take those. Alright, so next fight we got is another easy one, right? Immediately to your left is a 5/5 stage. This is like one of the infamous stages of TOP. As long as you're targeting Gohan first, you're going to be fine. Alright, so this is the formation that we're going to be using for this fight right here. Nothing too special. We're just going to go ahead and swap Omega out. I know you probably want the red unit to go ahead and deal with the Gohan, right? The Kid Gohan, but Bootanks is going to take care of him. I'm going to be real honest. Bootanks is definitely going to be able to take care of him pretty early on right here. We'll go ahead and see what we got. Alright, so in terms of attack order, dude, every single time I go against the stage, I always feel like I figured out the optimal setup, the optimal attack order, but then I always forget it by the next time I do another one of these. So I think we're gonna go with Gohan first, and then I generally do like to go for Beerus after that, and then we'll go with Bulma, Piccolo, Whis, and then Shallot. Let's go ahead and do it like this. Alright, so coming out of that one, not too bad, but it definitely could have been better. I think the optimal thing that you can do right there, if you can figure out a setup where you can kill the Gohan and the Beerus in turn 1, I think that's going to be the ideal situation right there, right? Because Beerus can inflict you with can attack at the beginning of turn 2, and that's what he did to me right here. I was barely unable to kill him, which definitely does suck. Maybe in the next one that I go against the stage, I might sub out the EX Piccolo so I can go ahead and exchange the healing for a little bit more damage. Alright, so the next stage that we got is going to be this abomination, which is going to be it's going to be annoying, right? Lots of blue units, got a couple yellows and as well as a purple. You got the Gohan, Goten setup, Wombo combo, as well as the Kaioken, Super Saiyan 3 Kick Go. Oh, this one's going to be a doozy. Alright, so this fight's going to be a little bit scary. I'm going to go ahead and get a little experimental with this one, right? I'm actually going to be subbing out our main healer of the EX Piccolo. That way I can go ahead and bring in some of these high key restore speed units. I want to see if I can try to burst them down as quickly as possible. This is, like I said before, this is going to be more experimental, but I am going to have Bootanks on this special move upgrade tile. That way we can get a little bit of bonus to our guaranteed blue card right here, right? I could also put Piccolo right there as well, but since Bootanks is going to be getting it earlier, let's go ahead and try it out like this. Alright, so the attack order is going to be as is. We're going to target Goten first, and then usually go for Gohan after this, but since he has the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, he's going to be a nuisance. He's going to stop one of my attacks at the very beginning, so that's going to be very annoying, and it can set us back by a lot, right? So we're going to go for Kaioken after that. That way we can ensure no super attacks come our way. Then we can get Gohan, and then I think we can go ahead and get Goten, Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, and then the Bird Crew. Hopefully we can get the full kill here, but I almost am kind of doubtful. Alright, so coming out of that one, I think I'll actually include that fight as well because it was absolutely beautiful. 1.1 million points. We were able to get the full kill. I think that's like one of the few times I was able to get the full kill on this squad right here. And I think this team layout and attack order fit perfectly. LF Piccolo was actually able to land his blue card on that purple Goten, just hitting him in one shot, just finishing him off, and everyone else kind of just fell apart as well. I really did like the setup. I think this is the move for me against this squad in particular. I'm going to remember this. Alright, for the fourth match of the video, we're going to be going against this forfeit stage. It's very similar, although it does not have the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku on here, so I could probably swap someone out for Janemba, due to the fact that he does have this Trunks right here, right? Alright, so in hindsight, I actually don't think I'm going to bring in Janemba here. I think I'm going to go with this setup, played a little bit safe. The only thing that's really bad here is that Omega is going to use a super attack, and as you guys do know, he attacks very early on, right? He's going to get the super attack off on that blue Gohan, so this might be a waste, but I need a way. I need this man in here so I can take care of Goten before he can super attack me as well. I think hopefully this works out. Alright, so the way that we're going to be doing this one is Goten first, then Gohan, then the Kaioken Goku, and then we're actually going to line up the LF Piccolo super attack with this green Trunks. Right, that way, because since we are not bringing in that purple unit, we're going to be needing some extra damage against this guy to get through him, and then we can go against this guy since he has a regeneration buff, and then the Goten at the very end. Let's see what we got. Alright, so coming out of that one, I think playing it safe was a decent move on my end. Still 1 million points, right? But I think I really think that you would have benefited. Maybe you could benefit more with more damage right here. There's some of these fights where I feel like you don't need the EX Piccolo, right? I feel like once you start needing the EX Piccolo, It's going to be when your units start needing a lot more extra healing. And these kinds of fights where they can put out a lot of damage and they have high key restore speed, I think you do want the extra damage over the extra healing. I'm not too sure. I would definitely need to do some more research on that. But either way, still good. We got the full kill. We avoided all the super attacks, so we're still doing something right. Alright, so for our 5 win streak bonus, we are going to be challenging the only 5-fist stage on this row. It's going to be another Gohan Goten stage. So let's go ahead and talk about attack order, because this time there is going to be the red 18. Alright, so for this one, I think I'm going to do what I did last time. Instead of using the extra heals, I think I am going to go ahead and opt for the extra damage. So let's see how it performs, like if we can compare it and contrast it. Alright, so as per usual, Goten first, then Gohan, Kaioken Goku. We'll get this guy out of the way, then the healer, and then the Goten at the very end. Alright, so I would say that fight went pretty smooth. I do like it's still, I feel like it's still roughly the same, right? And you can't really compare the points because this was my 5th win streak bonus right here. But a part of me does want to just go ahead and say that this is the better option right here. If we were able to smoothly get through all of this right here, avoided all the super attacks once again, I don't know, man. I feel like the only one really taking a noticeable amount of damage here is the LF Piccolo, right? Obviously, that would be appeased by the extra healing from the EX Piccolo, but either way, we're going to be able to heal him out throughout the entire board, right? Alright, so the next fight we got going for us is another easy fight. This 5-fist stage right ahead. It's going to be against Boo-Tanks. A lot of yellows on here. That's actually, a lot of purples. That's actually pretty good for us, right? We got Boo-Tanks, we got some purples, some blues, and Videl right here. Look at the extremes right here. That's what you love to see. That's what it's all about. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and rock with this setup right here. I think this is going to be easily enough to go ahead and overpower the enemy team right here, as well as getting some heals for the said LF Piccolo that we were just talking about from the last match. Alright, so for this fight, obviously, Boo-Tanks is going to be the main threat. But if you guys did notice, my Cell is only 2% off of getting his blue card, right? And Cell does have a higher key restore speed than my Boo-Tanks does. So I think I'm going to actually go ahead and target the Boo-Tanks, and then immediately after that, I'm going to try to put faith into this and kind of assume that my Boo-Tanks is still going to have his blue card left over, so we can take out this unit right here. And then immediately after that, I think we can go ahead and start working on some of these purple units. We'll go like this, like this, like this, and then like this. I think that's going to be excellent. Alright, so that fight went perfectly as well. I think the solution to this fight really just comes down to key restore speed. Right, key restore speed against this team, as long as you have higher key restore speed than your enemy, it really shuts down this team, like, as a whole, bro. Like, they really cannot touch you. Alright, so the next fight we're going to be taking up against is this 5-fist stage, once again, right ahead of us. It's going to be this regeneration stage right here. So let's go ahead and talk about our layout. Alright, so this is the layout that I'm going to be using for this fight. I just kind of want to color counter the enemy team by using some greens, some yellows. I got a purple, and I got a red in here. Alright, so I think the first unit that I want to go ahead and target is this green 21, because I don't want to deal with their solar flare, right? At the start of turn 2, she will hit you with the solar flare, hitting with the can inflict attack, and that's very frustrating to go against. After that, I want to go for the support, right? Because this blue 21 is an amazing support unit, and then we can take out this other blue, and then hopefully we can line up the LF Piccolo super attack with this guy. And then we can target this guy, and then 21 at the end. I'm fine with attacking 21 at the end just because she has extremely low key restore speed, so she won't be an issue. Okay, so coming out of that fight, we did have to rely on the Rising Rush to go ahead and finish off the full team kill. But either way, even without the extra healing from the EX Piccolo, everyone is nice and healthy. We got the full kill. We avoided any super attacks. It was actually kind of dangerous right there. Janeba almost got his super attack off. We mistimed the LF Piccolo super attack just a little bit, so it was kind of a waste, but it's still fine. Alright, so for the next course of action, you actually have a couple options right here, I would say, because you want to get on one of the 5-fist tiles, right? So either right here or right here, which they both seem pretty difficult. This one seems more annoying in my own opinion. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I feel like this is going to be a very annoying fight right here. You have 3 super attacks, a healer, and you also have a revival unit. It just looks horrendous to me. I don't want to go over there, but leading up to it, it actually looks pretty nice, right? You got all these 5-fist stages. These ones look pretty easy up until that point, but I think we're going to go ahead and take the hit on some points and just go straight up. We'll go ahead and do this fight, and we'll come over here to this one, right? So that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. Is only a 3-fist stage, so you shouldn't have too much to worry about. Let's go ahead and talk about our layout bonus. For this one, I want to just try to nuke the enemy team. I know it's only a 3-fist stage, but I want to play it cautiously, right? I'm going to go ahead and get a lot of super attacks off right here. I need to, especially if I'm not going to be getting any heals for Boo-Tanks the way I have this set up, because I'm going to put Boo-Tanks in this special move tile to give him an extra 40% to his blue card, right? So let's go ahead and see what we can do with this setup right here. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is get Bootanks first, and then the green 21. This might be a little bit risky, right? Because I'm going to be attacking this LF Piccolo a little bit later on in my attack order, but we're going to try to go for him on the 3rd slot, and then the purple 21 on 4th slot, then the blue 21, and then the healer 18. You might want to go for the healer 18 earlier. I'm not too sure, but it's still a 3/5 stage, so I'm not entirely too concerned. Alright, so coming out of that one, once again, a 3/5 stage, right? You're not going to have too many issues with that. And surprisingly, we still break 1,000,000 points on that bad boy right there. We'll take that. Got the full kill, avoided all of the super attacks. Everything went according to plan. Alright, for the next fight that we're going to be taking on is this 5/5 stage to the left of us. It's basically the 5/5 version of the last stage with just a few alterations, right? Including there being that LF cell right there. Let's go ahead and talk about our layout bonus. Alright, so this is what we're going to be doing for this layout right here. You see me just subbing EX Piccolo a lot right here, right? And that's just because of the fact that everyone is pretty healthy. And once they start getting lower in HP, I think that's when I'm going to start bringing him out more so he can get some more playtime. But right now, where I don't necessarily need the healing, I need more so the damage, right? And Boo is still supplying some sort of healing on turn 3. Alright, so for this layout, it's going to be just a little bit different, right? We're going to go for Bootanks first, of course. That's going to be the target number 1, and then I want to try to see if I can get the green 21 out again before she can hit me with the solar flare. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but we're definitely going to try. And then we'll get the support out of the way, and then we'll get Cell out of the way, and then this red 18, and then the purple 21. This purple 21 is not really any sort of issue at all. Very low key restore speed, and without the Zenkai, she's not really going to hurt. She was attacking my Fat Boo, and I really don't think she was doing a lot of damage. She might do some damage to the first form Cell, though. Yeah, so that fight was a little bit more difficult, I do have to admit. 1.3 million points, we will take that. Bootanks took a little bit of damage. I did take a hit from the first form Cell, or from the purple 21 on the first form Cell, and it did hurt a lot. But still getting the full kill right here. We did have to rely on the Rising Rush. We'll still take that from a 5/5 stage. When I think about what I could do better right here, I think it's just crazy to me that red 18 is so tanky. For whatever reason, she is just so damn tanky. I don't really... I don't know why, but she is. I'm not too sure what I would do differently here. We would have to just go ahead and experiment, but either way, I will still take that, man. It's not like anyone died here at all. Okay, so now for our 10th win streak bonus, we are going to be going against this stage, another androids setup right here. There's a lot of green, so Janemba's guaranteed to come in here. Let's go ahead and talk about layout. Alright, so this is the setup that I'm going to go ahead and use right here. You do see me putting Bootanks on the bench, and I hate doing that, right? Usually Bootanks will stay with me throughout the entire match, but because of the fact that this guy has 3 greens on his team, Bootanks is in danger, right? So I'm going to go ahead and try to do it like this. We have a lot of super attacks almost built up. I'm praying that one of them hits me with the blast card on this Janemba so I can get my guaranteed blue card off with him as well. We'll go ahead and see what we can do here. Let's go ahead and go into attack order. Alright, so in terms of attack order, I do want to take out the support first. Immediately after that, I want to take out MVP 17. Then this perfect form Cell, he's fairly fragile. And then we can maybe line up the LF Piccolo super attack onto this guy so we can kind of avoid his blast card mitigation. Then healer 18, and then 16 at the very end, right? 16 at the very end, just because when he dies, he gives a buff to ally tag androids. And we also have to be very careful with him, because once he falls below 15% HP, he does have a chance to activate his Awakened Arts card where he self-destructs, and I don't want anyone to take that. Alright, so honestly, coming out of that one, things went pretty well. 1.9 million points. Everyone's still looking nice and healthy. We got the full kill even. That was one thing that I was worried about, that I wasn't going to get the full kill. I think the thing that really cucked me here, that really screwed me over, is that I was talking about how fragile that first form Cell was. I wasn't able to finish the kill on him, and so he had like literally like a speck of health, and my Piccolo used his blue card on him. It was a complete waste. I'm very, very sad about that, but it's okay. We'll still go ahead and take that 1.9 million points. Let's go and move on to the next one. Alright, so next we go straight up into this difficult stage once again, so let's go ahead and talk about our layout bonus, bro. So this is pretty much what I'm starting to like for these kinds of fights, so let's go ahead and start it like this. Okay, so the first thing that I do notice is that he has Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, so that's going to alter things just a little bit, right? I'm going to go ahead and start off with killing Goten first, then this Kaioken Goku, and then we'll get Gohan, the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, this guy, and then the 18 at the very end. Alright, so actually, coming out of that one, my team kind of just mowed through them. 1.4 million points, my guy. Like, we're doing pretty good. I think the one mistake that we made was actually in the attack order. Instead of going for that Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku first, I think you should go for this Gohan first, right? This purple Gohan, because if I would have swapped those two units around in my attack order, my Ella Piccolo would have been able to one-shot him with his blue card, and then I had all these green units to go ahead and rely on in the first form cell, and the Fat Boo to go ahead and take out this guy. It would have been a lot smoother process, but it is what it is. We're still learning as we go, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the next. Alright, so once again, we will be going straight up into this 5-fist stage, and this one, it's just everywhere, right? It's just everywhere, but 5-fist stages are going to be rewarding you with the most points. The only thing about this being is that there's two healers on this team, right? You have the Angel Vegeta and the Birdku. Thankfully, we can mitigate one of the healers by just leaving Birdku for last. Right, Birdku, if you guys don't know, that is the nickname for this yellow cooler movie Super Saiyan Goku. Let's go and talk about our layout bonus. Honestly, when it comes to layout on this, I don't think I change anything here. The only thing that you see me change is I put Bootanks into this tile right here. That way he can have a little bit of damage reduction, right? He's going to get a sustained damage cut right there. That way we can mitigate some of the damage that gets put onto him because he's a little bit more on the squishy side. So let's go ahead and get right into the match, or into the attack order. Alright, so first off is going to be Goten, then Gohan, then Kaioken Goku, and maybe we can get Angel Vegeta before he gets his team heal off. I believe it is on turn 3, correct me if I'm wrong. And then we'll get this Vegeta out of the way, and then the final piece, it will be this Birdku. Alright, so this one was actually very, very rough, bro. Very, very rough. You can see right here, everyone looks fine, and then you get to Bootanks, and things are not fine. Things are not fine at all. Look at, he took like almost every single hit there. I don't know why everyone just, and their mamas just chose to focus my man's Bootanks, but this is not good. We avoided all super attacks here, but at what cost, right? Bootanks is dying. It's not good, bro. Maybe you guys should, I would maybe suggest maybe just going right here instead. I'm not too sure. It definitely is up to you guys, right? I can't control what options you guys go to take in terms of path right here, but that was just, I don't think that was the move at all right there. That 5-fist stage was rough. Now, for the next fight, though, it is going to be an easy stage, even though it's going to be a 5-fist stage, because we have this one right here against the EX units, right? There's EX units on here. Bootanks can get some heals from this. I can confidently say that Bootanks can and will get some heals from this. Alright, so this is how I'm going to rock with this setup right here. We're going to see the EX Piccolo come out of the bench. That way he can go ahead and provide double heals for my boy Bootanks right here. The only thing that sucks about this is that I'm actually kind of scared because he's only at 32% HP. I'm confident in him living, but not too confident, right? I really would have loved if a sustained damage cut tile was right here and not in one of these middle areas, which does suck for me. Let's go ahead and try to see what we've got. If Bootanks dies right here, bro, I'm going to be so sad because this is going to be the last fight. So for this fight, if you guys remember from the last time that we went up against this fight, we kind of just go in a clockwise rotation. We'll go from Topo, Jiren, Dispo, UI Goku, and then Bojack, and then we'll go after the Frieza right here. I think that'll be just fine. Alright, so coming out of that one, still very scary territory right here, right? Very, extremely scary territory right here. Bootank's still in it to win it. We're halfway through the board. We got the full kill right here. We're still looking decently, right? Let's actually go ahead and see how much HP Bootanks is at right now. The one thing that I do want to mention is that instead of going completely clockwise, when you go from Topo, Jiren, Dispo, UI Goku, I would say go for Frieza instead, and then Bojack for last, right? I'm gonna go ahead and try to remember that as well. Alright, so Bootanks actually healed up just a little bit, right? Just a little smidge, right? He went from 32% to 36%. We'll go ahead and take that. We're gonna try to heal him up as we go on for part 2, so go ahead and stay tuned for that. For now, let's go ahead and see where we place, even though we have that extra 1 energy just laying around right there. We'll go ahead and save that for part 2, like I said before. And our ranking is going to reside at 1,640. I think, honestly, I don't think that's that bad. Right, for what it's worth, we're missing 1 TP right here. I think we're still looking fine, completely fine. So we'll go ahead and take that, 1,640. I'm okay with that. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop on out of here. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys leave a like, a comment, maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!